What took you so long?
Hey guys, it's Exact20 here. It's been a few years since I made my 6-part prediction video on Mario Kart 9. For today, I will be revisiting this topic. With the announcement of the Nintendo Switch 2 console coming this year alongside a new Mario Kart game,
oh my god, okay, it's happening!
It will be a good opportunity to start coming up with my updated predictions on what we will see when it comes out on the Switch 2. Now the name for this new Mario Kart game hasn't been confirmed yet, so I don't know whether I should call it Mario Kart 9 or Mario Kart X, or whatever name you want to call it. For now, I'm just gonna call it Mario Kart Switch 2 as a placeholder until Nintendo officially confirms what the name is gonna be for the next Direct. Before we get to this video, 23.1% of you guys have subscribed and 76.9% didn't. So if you enjoyed this video or if you're new here, please give this a like and don't forget to subscribe for other content I'm making in this channel. So with that in the way, let's get to this video. Starting with the Nitro and Retro Cups, rather having 8 cups like the previous ones, I decided to add 4 more cups like in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I decided to go with this idea believing that Nintendo would expand more tracks in the new games rather than sticking to their formula. For Nitro Cups will be the Egg Cup and Wonder Cup, and for the Retro Cups will be the Bell Cup and Cherry Cup. We'll start out with the Retro Tracks as they are tracks that come from old Mario Kart games and return in the recent ones. I'll be listing them in the cups orders, and I'm choosing the ones that have never made a reappearance yet, including some that have already did, but not twice. I mean, Mario Kart 8 and Tour prove it to make that possible, so why not? Here are the tracks that I think will likely return on Mario Kart Switch 2. Starting with the Shell Cup will be Wii's Luigi Circuit. I thought it looks and sounds like a fun track to drive around, and especially when you drive past a giant Luigi statue. I would love to see this one make a comeback. Next is N64's Moo Moo Farm, which returned in Mario Kart DS. Now it may not be a good and interesting track, but I thought it would be cool if Nintendo would bring this one back. Maybe giving it a more detailed with adding the spectators or a gliding ramp to use to glide over the bridge, but that's just my idea. SNES Cooper Beach 1 is a fun and basic track where you drive around the beach surrounded by water. This will be an easy track to return and I could see it in 3D. For our 4th track will be 3DS Shy Guy Bazaar. I heard this track was originally going to return in the Wii U DLC, but it went scrapped for other tracks, so I think this one deserves to get a chance to shine. Moving on to the Banana Cup, we'll start with 3DS Mario Circuit. I want to see this one return because you drive around the cherry blossom trees and you later drive inside of Peach's castle, which makes it one of the best Mario Circuit tracks. Wii's Toad's Factory is one of the best tracks in Mario Kart Wii, and I'm surprised that this hasn't been brought back yet, so it'll be a good time for this one to make a comeback. Wii U/NS Sweet Sweet Canyon is a track that I want to see return. I enjoyed this one since you drive around a canyon that's themed around candy. Not much to say about it. Also, if you didn't hear the first sentence, I will be calling the Mario Kart 8 tracks by the names Wii U/NS. Yeah, you could call the tracks by the Wii U name since Mario Kart 8 was originally from that, but I'm just unsure if Nintendo would call it Wii U or NS, or maybe both, but that's just my opinion. For our final track will be Tour's Piranha Plant Pipeline, and yes, I'm adding a Mario Kart Tour track. Surprisingly, this is the only tour track that didn't appear in the Booster Course Pass, but with the mobile apps soon coming to a dead end, I thought Nintendo should bring this one back on the Switch too. Next is the Bell Cup, and for our first track will be N64's Frappe Snowland. This track has been brought back in Mario Kart DS and Tour. I really love this track as you drive on the snowy road and the snowman being the obstacles. This track deserves to return once again. Next is Wii U/NS's Sunshine Airport. I really enjoyed playing this track where it takes place in an airport. This one deserves to make a comeback. Next is 3DS Wario Shipyard, aka Wario Galleon. Now with all the Wario tracks, this is a unique one where it takes place in an abandoned shipyard on the water and you drive in a sunken ship. Plus, the music would go hard if it was played by the Mario Kart band. For the last one is GBA Sunset Wilds. This track was brought back in the Booster Course Pass, but we know that it wasn't how we like compared to the original version. The reason this being due to the sky not changing from day to night, which is why people hated it. Even the modders had to fix this kind of problem. I think Nintendo should bring this back again, but this time with the skybox changing. But who knows whether it's possible or not. Moving on to the Cherry Cup with GCN Mushroom City. This is one of the double dash tracks that hasn't been returned yet. I thought it looks cool when you drive around a city at night, so I wanted to bring this one back. Next is GBA Broken Piri. This is one of the two tracks that hasn't been yet to return, not even in tour. A spooky track surrounded by giant face rocks, so I think this would also be an opportunity to bring this one back. Next is Wii U/NS's Cloud Top Cruise, another one of my favorite tracks in Mario Kart 8. This one feels like a hybrid of Sky Garden and Airship Fortress, and also the Gusty Garden music makes it even better. The last one is SNES Mario Circuit 4. This is the only SNES Mario Circuit track that hasn't returned yet, and I'm getting the feeling that Nintendo would bring back this one, maybe giving it a better glow up and not look too similar to the original version, like what they did with Mario Circuit 3. Continuing with the Leaf Cup, the first track is gonna be GBA Cheep Cheep Island. I really love how they do this one in Mario Kart Tour. It'd probably be a bit too similar to Coop Beach 1, but with the sunset, the boardwalks, and giant Cheep Cheep swimming in the background, I would think it would make a great interesting track to return. Wii's Dry Dry Ruins is where you drive in the desert and inside a pyramid where you trick off half pipes. Like Piranha Plant Pipeline, this one wasn't brought back in the Bridge Course Pass, so I would want to see it come back in the next Mario Kart game. The third track is none other than DS Airship Fortress. This track was brought back from Mario Kart 7 and Tour. Fans were expecting this one to return in the Booster Course Pass, but nope. Instead, this one got overtaken by DS Mario Circuit.
They stole it from me, Carmine! They took it! That was today! Today!
This was a fun track, and I hope Nintendo would bring it back on the Switch too. Next is 3DS Maka Woohoo, aka Woohoo Mountain Loop. As a fan of Wii Sports, I would love to see one of the Woohoo Island tracks return, and I choose this one. You drive up on the mountains and glide down to where you started, which makes it a fantastic track. Who knows if Nintendo would bring this back or not. Finally, we made it to the Lightning Cup with N64's DK Jungle Parkway. This track was brought back in Mario Kart Wii, and it's one of my favorites in Mario Kart 64, so I thought it would be awesome if Nintendo would bring this one back, but again, I doubt it. Second track is Wii U/NS's Electro Drone, another favorite track in Mario Kart 8, and being a techno music theme track with spectators dancing to the music, I think this one deserves to make a comeback. Next is DS Bowser Castle. This will be an awesome track to return on the Switch too, with the music and the layout. Also, instead of moving platforms at the end, it will be replaced with a glider ramp where you avoid those lava geysers that are in your way. For our final track will be GCN Rainbow Road. Now you are expecting GBA Rainbow Road, but I decided to go with the GameCube one, since it feels like a better track to end the game. Plus, it will be likely Nintendo would break this formula, but who knows. And that is my list of what retro tracks I want to see return on the Mario Kart Switch 2. But what about the Nitro Tracks? This one is going to be a bit tricky, but here are my ideas for the new tracks. Starting with the Mushroom Cup, our first track will be the one we saw in the trailer. The name hasn't been yet to confirm, but I'm gonna call it Mario Bros Circuit. It's likely that this track will be the first of the Mushroom Cup. Nothing much to say about it, but I love this track. It does look like a resemblance to Radiator Springs from the movie Cars. It's not the first time they ripped off something from Disney. For the second track will be Delfino Beach, a beach themed track based on Super Mario Sunshine. This is more of a hybrid of Cheep Cheep Beach and Delfino Square, where the first half you drive around the beach and the second half you drive around the town of Als Delfino. So it's kind of like a beach city type of track. For the third track will be Peach Theaters, a track based on the Sparkle Theater from Princess Peach's Showtime. You start at the red carpet entrance of the theater as you drive to the lobby, and then you enter the stage area where you jump on the stage and drive into the backstage. You can choose which path you go to, either drive through a cardboard castle prop or through the curtains, and then you exit and drive back to where you started. For the fourth track will be Piranha Plant Forest, a forest themed track where you drive around the track surrounded by piranha plants, and there are some obstacles of pipes and vines that you must avoid. Also, the spectators can be piranha plants singing in the background. This is a nod to the piranha plants on Parade level from Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is what the track is based on. Moving to the Flower Cup, we'll start off with a Mario circuit track. Now we do know that every Mario Kart game, Nintendo traditionally adds a Mario circuit track to their selections. Same goes with the Bowser Castle and Rainbow Road tracks. But anyways, for my idea for this game's Mario circuit, why not have one based on the NES game? I don't know if they already done something like this before, but I do love to see a version of that on the Switch too. For the second track will be Luigi's Hotel, a hotel themed track based on the one from Luigi's Mansion 3. This track will be similar to Luigi's Mansion. I imagine you drive and explore around the hotel, maybe use the city track route to drive around to different areas in each lap. For the third track is Cheep Cheep Ocean. Now like Dolphin Shores and Piranha Plant Cove, this will be another underwater track, but for this one, you'll mostly explore things like the coral reef, treasure chests that contain items that pop out like the mushrooms for example, and an abandoned pirate ship similar to the one in Super Mario 64's Jolly Roger Bay, but this time you can actually explore inside it. For the fourth track will be Bomb Up Battlefield. Now I would love to see another Mario Kart track based on Super Mario 64 since TikTok Clock from Mario Kart DS. If you haven't seen my Mario Kart 9 videos where I talked about the Nitro Tracks, I already thought of this idea before and decided to bring this one back. You start driving on the path where you avoid chain chops and bomb ops, then you drive towards a big cannon, then you shoot out and glide to the top of the hills, and then you drive down while avoiding boulders that are in your way, and you end up in the battlefield surrounded by Goombas and bomb ops where you had to avoid them until you get back to where you started. Next up is the Egg Cup, and for our first track will be Daisy Desert, a desert themed track named after Daisy. This is based on the Sarasa Land from Super Mario Land. I thought having a desert track based on Sarasa Land would be cool to see, and Nintendo hasn't done this one before. I decided to call it Daisy Desert because it fits well since Daisy is the ruler of Sarasa Land. The second track is Koopa Troopa Park, a water park track named after Koopa Troopa. I thought it would be cool to have a track based on a water park. And I know we already have one in Mario Kart 8, but I see it as more of an amusement park on the water rather than an actual water park. Imagine you drive through water slides, maybe turning it into an anti-gravity section, if Nintendo would bring that back. But not as the main gimmick of the game, but that's just a topic that will be saved for another time. The third track will be Crystal Cavern, a cave-themed track based on the cave levels from the new Super Mario Bros. Series. This track is simple. You drive in a cave full of crystals, and there are many obstacles and hazards you must avoid, like the boulders and Monty Moles. Plus, I imagine if they bring back those Shy Guy miners from Shy Guy Falls. And of course, you cannot end the Egg Cup without a Yoshi theme track. I'm calling this one Yoshi's Wool Land, based on the Wii U game Yoshi's Woolly World. It will be similar to Yoshi's Island, but everything is made out of wool. That's it. Nothing else to say about it. Still, I do love to see this concept of this track happen on the Switch 2 or in the future. Now we move on to the Wonder Cup, where our first track will be Flower Meadows. It's a track based on the Flower Kingdom from Super Mario Bros. Wonder. With the new Mario Kart game giving the Wonder vibes, I'm getting the feeling we're gonna have a track based on it, so I thought it would be awesome to see one based on the Flower Kingdom. The second track is Bowser Jr. Stadium. This is another track I made up in my Mario Kart 9 video. I want to see a stadium track with the Bowser Jr. aesthetic. Imagine the obstacles where you have to avoid Mecha Koopas, Bullet Bills, and Cannonballs, and even the part where you drive around an anti-gravity section where you have to avoid attacks from a giant robotic Bowser from Super Mario Sunshine. The third track is Shiver Flame Mountains. This is a snow/fire themed track based on both Freeze Flame Galaxy and Shiver Burn Galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Imagine the first half of the track is a snowy road, and then the second half you end up driving on the path of lava. I see the video of someone made a custom track out of it on Mario Kart DS, so I think that will work. The fourth and last track is Waluigi Coaster, a roller coaster track named after Waluigi. I feel like Nintendo has never done a roller coaster track before, and it will be unique to see one happen. There will be a lot of turns and jump boosts, even an anti-gravity section where you do a loop-the-loop. This would have been the Wario Coliseum 2.0. Moving to the Star Cup, where our first track will be New Donk City, based on the Metro Kingdom from Super Mario Odyssey. Like Mario Galaxy, I would love to see a track based on one of the kingdoms from the game, and Metro Kingdom is something that I like to see happen. It will be similar to New York Minute where you drive around the city at night. but this time there is a festival happening during the race. The second track will be Toad's Museum. We never had a museum track in a Mario Kart game. This happened with a custom track from Mario Kart Wii called Midnight Museum. I really love this track where you drive in a museum, and I want to see Nintendo do something similar to this. During the race, there will be paintings and artifacts that pay homage to Captain Toad's treasure trackers, which is why I call it Toad's Museum. The third track is going to be Kamek Academy. Like Bowser Jr., we never had a track named after Kamek, so I thought of having a Magic Academy based on it. The track will be a giant castle similar to the Hogwarts castle from the Harry Potter series. You drive around the academy where there are obstacles like statues that try to attack you with magic abilities, or when you enter a library, there will be books flying around trying to hit you whenever you get near them, which is a homage to Big Boo's Hunt in Super Mario 64. The final track of the Star Cup is going to be another idea I'm bringing back, Rosalina's Spaceship. It will be cool to drive inside a spaceship where you explore around the areas inside, like the cafeteria, the greenhouse, even the control room. Plus, the spectators will be Lumas and astronaut toads. Finally, we made it to the Special Cup, and our first track will be DK Village. This time I'll be taking some inspiration from the scene in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, where you drive around the Jungle Kingdom. I can see this happening where you drive around the village, mostly on bridges, maybe adding a few anti-gravity sections and glider ramps to make it more fun. The second track will be Wario's Factory, and no, not the one from Five Nights at Wario's. This track will be based on the chord from Mario's Sport Mix, and it will be similar to Toad's Factory, where you drive inside a factory, but this time there will be obstacles like bombs and mushrooms thrown around, and forklifts that are in your way. In Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Bowser uses the Wonder Flower to turn himself into a castle. What if we turn that into a Mario Kart track? This is gonna be our Bowser Castle of the game, and it will be awesome to see this turn into a reality. I mean, think of the many obstacles and hazards you avoid, and how the layouts would look. It will be a fantastic track if that happens. Now we finally made it to the Rainbow Road. For my take on this version of the track, I take some inspiration from the scene from Super Mario Bros. Movie where you drive around many alternate paths. This is something Nintendo can possibly do. Heck, why not turn it to an alternate route like the city tracks in the BCP? And that concludes my predictions for all the Nitro and Retro tracks, and boy, this took a month to write and edit this video down. What Retro tracks do you want to see return, and what other ideas do you have for the new tracks? I was gonna plan on talking about more than the tracks, like the battle arenas, characters, and items, but I want to save that for another video, so if you want to stay tuned for that, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of it. For now, this is Zigzag20, signing out.